Welcome to the shooting show. This week we're back on the dark continent, hunting eland and hartebeest with monopolar safaris. Plus Byron brings us another in-depth rifle review from CZ. We've got another day's hunting ahead of us in the Eastern Cape with monopolar safaris. Already Anke's taken an impala and a blesbok. Today we'll be going for something bigger. After an early morning game drive, we head to the centre of the hunting area. There's a herd of eland in this concession, and among them is an old bull that needs removing. We've also had intel that there's a single red hartebeest cow that Anke can shoot, should we come across her. Eland may be the biggest of the African antelope, but that doesn't mean they're easy to find. We tried foot stalking, vehicles and even horseback, but for the best part of a day, there's no sign.
Especially in these areas, you know, it's really a free roaming terrain. It's not a zoo where you just drive in and you can pick off what you want. So you really have to work for your animals to start off with. Yeah, the eland is always a challenge in that area. We were looking on the one side, first went on horseback, and then we couldn't locate any eland on horseback. So the afternoon we split up in the teams, and it was quite a hard hunt.
As a last resort, we drive to the highest point in the area to see what we can spy. And that's when our luck turns. We don't just spot the eland herd, they're on the same ridge as us, less than a kilometre away.
You see, we've seen some eland around the corner there.
So
I think let's go along this tree line.
Yes.
There's a whole herd standing in between the trees.
So we can stalk behind the trees.
Yeah, and let's just get closer and see if we can get a shot at the nice eland that side, okay?
Okay.
But let's go closer slowly.
It's a rush to get out of the vehicle, get rifle ammo and optics ready, and begin the stalking without spooking them. But the African bush really makes things easy, and this is an opportunity we have to take. There's plenty of cover, but the eland have the positional advantage. One false move from us, and our quarry will disappear over the other side and ruin our chances. Emerging from the cover, we can't believe our luck. We've remained undetected and a suitable eland bull has wandered into range. The only problem is that it's grazing mostly out of sight. All we can see are its horns.
Yeah. Just wait. To see if we can...
Okay.
Anke sets up on the sticks and waits for it to offer a shot. For a long time everything is still, then the bull moves out and Larno is about to give the word to shoot. Just then, our camera runs out of battery. One slow and very loud battery change later, the bull has had enough and runs back and out of sight. The chance is gone, and at this rate, our cameraman will be footing the bar bill tonight. Our only hope is to stalk on in case we get another chance. That's when we get the biggest twist of all. Just a few yards further on, we stalk straight into the red hartebeest. Larno gives the order to shoot as quickly as possible, and Anke complies.
Okay, look, there's the red hartebeest.
Yes.
Okay, right, take it. Good one.
It's a clear hit, but the beast runs on, straight into the unforgiving bush. We call in the tracking team for assistance. We're sure it will go down, but you can never rest until you've located the shot antelope and confirmed death. We soon find a cow. The track only took a few minutes, but the beast covered a surprisingly long distance. It's a testament to the size and resilience of African game. To be on the safe side, Larno instructs Anke to put in an insurance shot. With that, the stalk is over. It was an exciting stalk full of surprises and frustrations, but persistence won through in the end.
The area is not very friendly to certain species because of the ticks that we have in the Eastern Cape, and it gives a heart and a red water disease to the animals. So animals like your red hartebeest and your eland and your oryx and springbucks doesn't do very well here. And there have been introduced red hartebeests into that area, but they've all been died out, and it was only this one solitary female that was left. And it was crucial for us to get her before she died of old age or because of tick disease.
The next moment on the left side we can see a red hartebeest, and the guy said to me, "Okay, shoot this one." And so there was no time, and I shot him, and yeah, but it was not a bad shot.
We've been looking for her for quite a while, and in 2 years' time I only saw her 3 times, included the day that we've shot her. So it was one of those scenarios, you know, you get one chance and one chance only, and Anke did very well in taking that chance, yeah.
It's been another successful stalk with Larno and Monopoola safaris, and there's more to come soon on the shooting show.
You see, if we can shoot the eland tomorrow morning, shoot the black wildebeest tomorrow afternoon,
We will see it, son.
then we can go to Edo on Thursday. So if you want to see elephants and lions, don't feel any pressure.
This is the Shooting Show News, brought to you by gunbid.co.uk. Scottish landowners could face losing their general licences if raptor poisoning is suspected on their estate. The new proposal made by Scottish National Heritage would mean that even if they remain unconvicted, their licence to shoot crows and pigeons could be forfeit. Scottish Environment Minister Paul Wheelhouse supported the move as a powerful new weapon against raptor crime. Basque and the Scottish Gamekeepers Association have spoken out against the plan. George Digweed has launched a new members club. Club Digweed will offer members exclusive digital content and offers at various shooting grounds, plus discounted merchandise. George Digweed said, "We aim for our members to have fun, to hopefully gain by learning, and for them to financially benefit from being part of Club Digweed." Follow the link for more information. The Game and Wildlife Conservation Trust has announced the second big farmland count between the 7th and 15th of February next year. The count encourages landowners and gamekeepers to document farmland bird species. Jim Egan from the GWCT said on the first count over 116 different species of birds were recorded by farmers, many of which are on the red list. Free bird identification days are to be held in January 2015. To find out more, follow the link on the screen. The wild grey partridge has been making a return in Wessex. Researchers from GWCT have been working with the staff on the Rotherfield Park estate in Hampshire to restore the population. The project is responsible for a recent breakthrough. Despite recording no partridge in 2004, 100 birds have been counted in the last few weeks. To celebrate the results, the GWCT is holding a farmland walk at Rotherfield Park on the 14th of October. And finally, stalkers looking for a challenge can sign up for extreme stalking packages. Run by West Highland Hunting, which manages West Coast estates in Scotland, this high-intensity trip is for experienced stalkers and will be available throughout January and February 2015. With harsh weather conditions, the Deer Management Challenge is not for the faint-hearted. Niall Rowantree, sporting manager at West Highland Hunting, said that the package will give keen stalkers a unique insight into the vital work that we do here in Scotland. That was the Shooting Show News.
This month we're going to take a look at another CZ. This is one of the newest models that they've launched. It's their 557, and it's a move away from the M98 based fixed claw extraction actions that CZ have become famous for over the years. It's much more in line with what a lot of other manufacturers offer. I have to say, when I first got my hands on it, I was quite impressed by the new kind of feel of the CZ. They've tried in places to refine it just a little bit. CZs are known as a little bit of an agricultural type rifle. There's not a huge amount of finesse there, but you know, they're a rock steady, well built rifle. They're going to last a lifetime, but they're not necessarily the nice lines and the attention to detail that you find in some of the slightly more expensive models. Overall, it's fairly compact. It's got quite a short barrel on it. This is in 308. It's certainly very maneuverable, and I can see it would make an excellent woodland stalking rifle. This fairly basic shape of the stock, and you know, the wood is nothing fancy, but it does the job that it's intended to do, and overall it actually looks pretty good. The action itself, as I've already said, is a bit of a move away for CZ. If I just drop the bolt back here, but if you have a look in here, you can see this slight blade that's protruding here, and if you press that down with your thumbnail, you will be able to drop the bolt back, and it's a real fiddle to be able to do it. But anyway, it's not like you're going to need to drop the bolt back all that often. Here we see something that we've seen so many times before. You know, you look at your Remingtons, you look at your Howards. There's not a lot of difference here. You've got twin lugs at the front. You've got a little sprung plunger here, which provides your ejection, and this little sprung claw here, which provides your extraction. Absolutely nothing fancy. We've got a clean bolt shaft here without any grooves or gas ports on it, apart from just underneath here. The rear shroud is neat and tidy. It's made of a metal, which is great. I really hate rifles that have plastic bolt shrouds at the back. I just don't understand what the need to put a plastic bolt shroud in for the extra few quid that it would cost to have something solid that's actually going to last a long time. So that's great to see here. And of course you've got your cocking indicator on the back here, which when you fire disappears and you will no longer see the red. So very solidly constructed, very simple, nothing that hasn't been done before, and it's something that we know works. The bolt itself is much better positioned than my CZ Magnum, which sat very close to the stock. Here they've swept it down and they've kicked it out and swept it back, and it really does help to expose the under surface of the knob and make it easy to palm up, or indeed grab with your finger and thumb and lift up. It's not the prettiest bolt knob in the world, but it's certainly functional and seems to be very robust and strong. In terms of cycling, it's fairly smooth. It's a push feed, and most push feeds work quite well. It's not the smoothest action to operate in the world, but having said that, this is a brand new rifle. It's never been fired, and this will undoubtedly loosen up the more it's used. Safety, I don't know quite what they've done on this one, but it's a lot quieter than my rifle. Certainly if you just apply that little bit of pressure to it, you can operate it on and off in its two positions virtually silently. In terms of mounting a scope, you've got your standard dovetail rails on top here, so you can mount most scope mounts to it, and you've got the classic CZ recoil recess here, which if you do have the correct and specific mounts for it, the foot of the rear mount fits in there, and it just gives you that extra security on the rear recoil and helps to hold the rings in the position that they're intended. The trigger is actually pretty good. CZ have a little bit of a reputation for producing triggers which are not all that great. This, on the other hand, came straight from the factory, and I have to say that it's not that bad. I think more than anything else, it's probably that it's set a little bit heavy, but there's certainly no noticeable creep in it. So CZ have done a good job to produce their new rifle, ticking all the boxes. On this rifle, we don't have a detachable magazine, which is probably a little bit unusual when it comes to calibers such as a .308 and a rifle that's intended for stalking. So it's loaded from the top, and if you want to drop the rounds, you just open it like that and drop the rounds into your hand. Like I say, I'd rather a floor plate than a magazine in any case. So with all that said and done, it's time to take it to pieces to see exactly how their new 5.57 varies inside compared to what we're used to seeing with their classic M98 style actions. Once taking the rifle apart, the first thing I saw both surprised me and pleased me. I'm used to CZ rifles with the M98 action, which, as you've already seen, has a solidly constructed underneath and an integral recoil lug which is machined as part of the receiver itself. What a lot of rifles these days have are some sort of detachable recoil lug that helps the manufacturing process be more streamlined, because actually machining it out of the same piece of steel that the receiver is made from is quite time consuming and a bit more expensive. And I'm pleased to say that on this CZ they have kept that area of strength, and they've done it in a very different way to what I've seen before. You're used to seeing the integral lug sitting somewhere about where this action screw would be actually, but instead what they've done is that they've left this really big, thick, chunky lug right at the front just before it attaches to the barrel. So in a way it's positioned in the same place that you would see on a Remington, but whereas that is actually a separate washer type lug, this is part of the action, and it has a flat bottom on the receiver here, and in actual fact where the action screw plugs in, that is kind of acting as a secondary recoil lug, although it's not bedded in any way. What we do have inside the stock is this little alloy lug here, which is basically just a reinforcing back for the recoil lug to nestle against, and if you have a look you can actually see the line where it's been taking up the recoil, and in actual fact this lug sits deeper into the stock than you can actually see, and it's bedded with a bit of compound in the bottom. So I mean that's a nice touch from CZ, and I like the fact that they've stayed true to the strong construction that they're well known for. Apart from that, there's nothing really to talk about underneath here. You can see the trigger unit here with the various different adjustments which allow you to adjust this trigger as you will. You need to just have a quick look at the instructions so you can see what each of these adjustment screws do, and as is always the case, be very, very careful if you don't know what 100% what you're doing when adjusting triggers, because it can be dangerous. If you get yourself in a bit of a pickle, take it to a gunsmith. As a whole, this is actually a very nice rifle. I mean, it doesn't have the finesse that the likes of a Sauer 202 or a Seiko 85 has, but it does everything that you need from a rifle, and I can tell you that it's built in a way that it's going to last you a lifetime. The question is, how well does it shoot? And if I was a betting man, I don't think I'm going to be particularly disappointed by the results. So I'm going to stick it back together, I'm going to head up to the range and get a few shots down on the targets, see exactly what the rifle's made of when we actually get to the business end. For the money that these come in at, it really is a serious contender, and I think a lot of people know about CZ rimfires, and a lot of people buy CZ rimfires, but their full bore rifles have always kind of taken a back seat to the success of their rimfires. And I think with this model, it might actually be a bit of a turning point for the success of their full bore rifles in the British market.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you're not a member of BASC, it's time to join now. BASC, looking after your sport, looking after you.